Yeah, all the on the starting soon screen when we do Rollercoaster Tycoon, all those are past scenarios. Those are all my actual parks. So if they look weird or if there's anything stupid happening in the background of one of them, I wanted to make it like this. Like this is the official like, title screen of Rollercoaster Tycoon. These are all Chris Sawyer parks, but I wanted to like do my own version of this, but with my own parks. That's what's on the starting soon screen. But that does mean that every time I stream this, after stream I have to sit down and record like 30 seconds of the game without it making a pop-up, which can be a problem sometimes. I'll be sitting there for like 28 seconds and then suddenly a ride will break down and then there's no way to like hide that stuff, so then it just like ruins the shot and then I gotta sit for another 30 seconds. It's really hard work, sitting there doing nothing. But anyway, which scenario are we doing today? We are gonna do probably this one. I think it's time for this one, because last time we did this, Volcania has happened, Whispering Cliffs has happened, so we are on Barony Bridge at this point. 1,200 guests by the end of year 3. Okay. What do I have as rides? It's gonna influence things a bit. We don't have great rides for this. Man. We'll see how this goes then. My hope for today was that we were just gonna cheese the shit out of this scenario. Like I usually try to build a reasonable looking park. My goal for today was to just go like full Marcel with it and just try to build like I was hoping that we would have the maze and then I could just build like 200 mazes. And I'm pretty sure that that would beat like any scenario. I'm not certain of that, but I think that would work. Why is my park closed by default? But I don't think we have good rides for that, so it might have to wait. Oh damn, I can get a 25k loan here. Nice. Anyway, it is, what I just say, 1,200 guests in 3 years, so it's kind of a lot. I wonder if I can do it with the swinging ship. If I just like line up a ton of them, you know? Like this. And then not that. I don't think this is gonna work with the ship. Oh, definitely not there. No. Erase. This kind of thing. And if we just have rows and rows of it. Yo, Giga, thank you for the 53 months. I appreciate it a ton. I hope you are doing well. Every Tuesday forever. I was thinking about this. So this is gonna be scenario. I didn't check. I didn't really check before starting the stream, but I'm pretty sure it's correct that today is scenario number 27, right? I think today is scenario number 27. I'm pretty sure that there were 2 days where I streamed 2 scenarios in one day. So I think that this is the 20. What would that make this? Like the 25th or 26th week of Rollercoaster Tycoon? And if you think about it, there are 52 weeks in a year, and 52 divided by 2 is 26. So I've just about spent half a year playing this one day a week. We're about half a year deep into Rollercoaster Tycoon at this point. This might be like the worst idea ever. But I just kind of want to see what happens if I do something like this. Yeah, it's a good thing that people voted for it. Otherwise, I don't know what would happen. We'd have to really rush it or just sit here for like an entire month. I don't even know if an entire month. Let's see, 4 hours. So before I became an air traffic controller, cringe. But before all of the shit started happening, I was streaming 4 hours a day, 5 or 6 days a week. So we can call that like 25-ish hours a week. 25 hours a week. So that's 4 weeks for 100 hours. So we would have to spend like probably 2.5 months streaming Rollercoaster Tycoon every day in order to beat it. If it was the end of the challenge, right? That would be the worst thing ever. I'm gonna call. Well, it's randomly only built one red one, so obviously the red one will have to be Pinna Reds. Will be in a 3 Reds. There we go. Wonder if there's a more efficient way to do this. If I could pack them more efficiently. I have no idea what the character limit is. I've honestly never run into it. I don't think anyone has ever submitted a name so long that it doesn't fit. It's already lagging. It's already lagging. This is bad. I think I have gaps where I can sell umbrellas as well. Or just like put stalls in general. Like that. You'd be surprised. So like I'm pretty sure that the game as a whole is very CPU intensive because like let's be real. This is a software renderer, right? Like this I don't know how exactly Rollercoaster Tycoon was programmed, but like it's a software renderer. It just is. I'm almost certain of that. And like in that case, you know, what it really causes the game to lag is supports. I found out that wooden supports are really bad at some point. Like you can actually have lots of crap on screen at once. It's the wooden supports that kill you. My paths are going to be such a disaster in like 5 minutes if I don't. Let's see. Where do I go to hire people? Well, it's just that you know, the idea behind a software renderer is it uses the CPU to render everything in addition to like, you know, using it for gameplay related stuff. Like if you play old games, like old, like before GPUs existed, generally they use software rendering. And that kind of limits, like, especially specifically if you're making a 3D game, like, you know, software rendering, if you're playing Quake, will be, like, really limited in how good you can make the game look because the CPU's crunching all those numbers. So this is why GPUs exist. because GPUs are hardware that's designed to be extra good at the type of math that 3D games need to run. So then, as opposed to if you write the game, set the renderers using the graphics hardware, and then you can make a much better looking game, basically. And that's why GPUs exist. But this game, I don't really know what a GPU would even be doing for Rollercoaster Tycoon. I mean, GPUs do all kinds of stuff. 2D accelerators technically existed, and that's probably still built into GPUs to this day as far as you know, I'd have to imagine that they have some sort of extra fast 2D sprite capabilities of some sort. Yeah, exactly. Like blitting sprites really fast, some kind of DMA type shit that they can do. I mean, I'm mostly into old computers and things, so I'm like, of course, they have DMA built in. It's like every computer fucking does that. It's 2026. Come on now. I'm thinking about the 90s and stuff. But, you know, but I question how much the hardware could be doing to really improve this, as opposed to a game I don't know, you play some kind, obviously this game is not as graphically complex as, Riddick. That was probably the best looking Xbox game we've played so far. The Chronicles of Riddick. That game clearly has a lot more going on, but it's also got probably the hardware working for it on a better, in a better way than this game does. How's this working for me so far? 143 guests. Custom hardware render extensively using the system's VDP 1 and 2. The latter demanded he scrap it for software mode because he hated the texture warping. Yeah, I mean, the Saturn is just... Oh, by the way, thank you a ton for the 85 months, Muck. I didn't miss that. I see you there. I do appreciate it, Mr. 1000. Hope you're doing well and stuff. I can't quite... It, almost fits, but then the bridge is there. That's really annoying. I can only do one on this layer. I mean, technically, I can just delete part of the bridge. I could just delete these towers on the bridge, but that's a little bit lame. Also, how much of this land do I even own? Oh, I own way out there on both sides. Okay, we can build another layer to this. We can have 3 or 4 ships on each layer. I was just gonna say, the Saturn... The hardware of the Saturn is kind of crazy, right? The whole VDP 1 and 2 situation is what? And you can definitely see it in how Saturn games look. That, I don't know. Even the best looking Saturn games, this is, I don't know, don't tell a Sega Saturn fan I'm about to say this, but even the best looking Saturn games really don't hold a candle to what the PS1 could do. That's weird that only one of them is red. This is the only red ship. Every ship I made after the first one is yellow and green now. Look, we told the bank we were gonna build an amusement park, and I'm building an amusement park. It's maritime themed because we're building it off of the side of the bridge over the water. This is appropriate. This is a good use of the money. The bank is gonna sue me. Panzer Dragoon is pretty good looking. Like the rail shooter ones. The Saga is kind of ass. Like if you I have played it, but if you look at like Panzer Dragoon Saga has like one town in it, first of all. I think is there a second town? It's been a long time. Um I'm pretty sure it basically has one main town in the whole ass game. And if you walk around in it, there's just like the polygons like aren't aligned right and they're like wiggling and warping like crazy. And like the textures are super low res. Like they're really trying their best with the art style, but ultimately I kind of just think it looks like shit. It's like it's worse than PS1. Like PS1 you can be like, "Okay, that's charming." Saturn is just like a bit too much for me. So I now have 18 pirate ships, and that's 207 guests. How much room do I still have on the sides? Oh, we're good. We've got room for a fourth layer. Might cause like horrible overcrowding. And this is kind of a hot take, but I've never really been a big fan of like the way sprite scaling looks at low resolution either. Like a Saturn game people really like a lot is Guardian Heroes. If anyone knows Guardian Heroes. I kind of feel like that game looks like ass. There's tons of sprite scaling going on in it, but it's all like pretty low resolution, so it just looks very, I don't know, kind of bad. Hard to tell. Like I'm pretty sure that's correct for getting him to patrol that layer. Maybe it's better on a CRT, but like it just it makes the sprites look all like grainy and weird. I've never really been a fan. Hey, Gris. I think that's as far as we can really go on each side. I could put one more to like cap them off though, right? I can do... I mean, or I could put something else on the ends, right? Like would a Ferris wheel fit? A Ferris wheel would fit. Could do land not owned by park. Oh no, that means I don't shoot. The Ferris wheel doesn't fit because we can't put an entrance and exit. We need well, let's see. What do I own? Okay, I own 2 out from there, so I own back to here. Yeah, so a 3x3 ride won't fit, but another ship would fit. What do you mean what? This is this is a completely normal amusement park. I'm gonna hire a few handymen to walk around just as like a... in case I forgot to zone something sort of patrol. Just buy the land? I can't. I don't think I can. Nah, I can't buy any extra land. But I hope to fill, the other entrance to the park is right here. I do hope to fill this entire thing with swings. I'm pretty sure I can just do it. I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but this layer of swings is getting me... I mean, we can do the math on this, right? because my guest number is going up. This number of ships is getting me at least 300 guests. And if that's the case, then that's 300, 600, 900, 1200. So we would beat the scenario if I just built only ships for just all of this. We would get there. The park's name is currently Barony Bridge. I haven't renamed it. This is pretty reasonable, though, I think. We've got our one red one, pin of 3 reds. And yeah, buying land is sometimes an option. It's like rarely an option in these scenarios, I feel like. It's almost never been an option. Is this really the most space efficient thing I could be doing? I'm not sure. I kind of think it is. Like, we don't have a ton of room to work with here. Realistically, we have to get 1,200 guests, and the size of the park is just this. I feel like any halfway decent wooden roller coaster would take up an entire one of my 4 quadrants. And it would only get me like 100 guests or something, whereas my Spanish Armada here is generating, so far, at least 300. So, this is kind of actually better. I don't know what kind of boats they are. They're sort of like Viking boatish, actually. Well, no, they're not, because they've got the big mast in the center. I think they're just sort of... I'm not like a ship expert. I've gotten pretty good at identifying planes at this point. I know a thing or two about airplanes, but boats, I don't know. You'd have to speak to someone who works in boat traffic control. I actually know a guy who's trying to work his way up to becoming a harbor master through, like, you know, merchant marine type shit. So that's technically a boat traffic control type job. And hey, why? They're all definitely harder. Like, they made the goals higher. The land is more inhospitable to amusement parks, all that kind of stuff. So they've definitely, I guess, made it harder. But, you know, there's only so much you can do to make Rollercoaster Tycoon hard, because you can always just do this. I can probably build a second layer on top of these as well. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's see. 361. Oh, man. It's still going up. We've still got the green arrow, so I think that, like, we can safely say that the boats are generating at least 350 guests here. But probably closer to 400. So actually, we're gonna crush this goal if we just build 4 layers of boats. See, what's next? The cycle railway. I should build a cycle railway going around the entire thing. Or like a raised one that goes just like down the center and back or something like that, so that like you can get on the cycle railway and just admire all of the ships. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this layer, because like it is kind of a, like, it complicates things a little bit that we have this. And I could just delete that, but I feel like that's anti-fun. And I guess I could just, well, how much? We're really only losing one spot, actually. And if you think about it, so this is all going to be off. No, this is fine. They're all going to be offset by one on this row, but that's actually fine. Because we do have space for it to be offset by one, and we're not losing anything. Just have to... I know what I've done. Give me a second. I know. Put the path there before I just start drowning every guest that goes on this ride. That one's gonna stick out an extra, like, 1. Actually, this is good, maybe? I think this might be good for, like, guest control. If we, have the path sort of connect like this. This way people can kind of get around, and it's not these, like, long limbs, you know? I think this is better. There is some kind of limit to how many rides can be in a park at once. I don't know the number off the top of my head. I don't think we're gonna hit it, though. I think we're gonna be fine, probably. PlayStation TV? Ooh. Man, sometimes I regret not buying a PlayStation TV when they were like $50 with a controller. There was like some sale. It was on Amazon at the time where it was like they were truly just trying to get rid of them. And I think it was literally either $50 or $60 for a PS TV and a DualShock 3 controller. And that's like even just like, man, even if I could have just gotten another DualShock 3, those aren't super cheap these days, but then I remember how I do already own a PS Vita, and I literally don't use it, and then it's like, oh yeah, never mind, I snap out of it. But basically this is what one layer is gonna look like. I'm technically not, I don't know if I own, well, I could have, yeah, I am sort of wasting the first layer here, aren't I? I sort of screwed up at the start. Do I own? No, and I don't own beyond that, so... Oh god, yeah. With all of the supports, it's really lagging. Why are we only doing swinging ships? Well, so here's the situation. This is scenario number 27 out of 86. I've played 75 hours of Rollercoaster Tycoon on stream, and at this point, on pretty much every one of those scenarios, I basically, you kind of have to make your own fun. Like, the scenarios themselves are just this, over and over again. It's just this. So, like, So at some point, you kind of have to make your own fun, right? And so I've been trying to make my own fun on, like, every scenario. You know, either try to build it so it looks good or try to build it a certain way. And I realized this afternoon that I've never just tried to cheese it as hard as possible. I've always respected the game as we've been playing it. I've never just gone like full Marcel Voss with it and just built a whole bunch of bullshit to see how big I can make the number get. And I don't really know off the top of my head like good strategies for that, how exactly you would do that. Like, I'm not him, I don't know. But as far as I can tell, this is the strat. I mean, swinging ships are not, like, as you can see, there's tons of gaps. There's lots of tiles that aren't really being used. That's sort of the problem with the swinging ship, and I do wonder if I sat down with like graph paper, if I could sort of plan out a more efficient layout, right? But um, based on my 2 seconds of looking at it, I've decided that with the rides they give me at the start of the scenario, this is my best play if I want to just go full cheese with it. So there, that's what I'm doing. So that's what we're doing this time. I'm not saying I'll do this every time. I probably won't do this again for a while at least, but today we're going full cheese. For the record, I am Team Bacon. I know it's not actually Team Cheese versus Team Bacon, but I would be Team Bacon's strongest soldier if given the chance. And I know that's unpopular, but I know Bacon is considered Reddit and cringe, but like I don't care. I always liked Bacon before it was like a stupid thing, before it was a stupid fad, and I'll always like Bacon after as well. So, you know, man, Scrapple. Scrapple's fucked up. I've never actually had Scrapple. I have no opinion on Scrapple, for the record. I never really see the true fraud thing. What's really fraudulent about me is that I never really even knew about the whole like pork roll versus Taylor ham situation in New Jersey. I was probably like 20 when I first heard about that, and I just immediately was like, fuck it, I choose the side of Taylor ham. That's the more fun position to take. So I just decided I was going to be a Taylor ham guy, and I've never even eaten it. Um, and also, I've since looked it up, and where I grew up in New Jersey is on the southern side of the Taylor ham versus pork roll line that allegedly exists. So really, I should be a pork roll guy, but I'm not, and I don't apologize. Bacon reminds me of Deltarune because they have annoying fan bases. That's insane. I mean, annoying fan bases. It's probably pretty fun to be in an annoying fan base. I've never been in an annoying fan base, of course. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Sweating profusely. But, I don't know. The thing is, I know my own personal behavior when it comes to this stuff, which is that when a fan base is too annoying, I refuse to engage with their thing out of spite. And that's why I've never played Undertale, and that's why I've never played Ghost Trick, even though they're probably good. Like I don't have I don't have a reason to think that they're actually bad. I bet they're fine. I bet they're good, but like I don't know. It's definitely it's a spite thing. It's a spite thing for sure. I don't know that I would probably actually like both games. I would be in the fan base if it weren't for the fact that I didn't play them immediately when they came out, and then enough people annoyed me that I had to become like against playing it. If they were just normal games, I'd probably have just played them and enjoyed them and then moved on with my life at this point, you know? I think they probably are both pretty fun. Someone who's I've never perceived Thousand Year Door that way either. Maybe it's just because I'm on the inside of that one. I mean, like if you think about it, isn't Undertale basically just like sort of an RPG slash basically pseudo shmup thing hybrid? Like I like a shmup, so I'd be down to fight them and you like dodge the shit when you're in the square. Like sounds good to me. Sounds fun, but I can't do it. Oh, this is definitely not doing me any favors. This scenario is gonna take like 5 hours. I don't know. I've always been a massive contrarian. That's just how it is. It's helped me out a little bit back when I was like kind of like a kid on the internet. I know. I'm sorry to all the old people in the chat, but back when I was like 12 and stuff, um I'd have friends who were into like I definitely had a lot of Homestuck friends. I was just like, I'm happy for you, but I don't know what that is and I don't want to know what that is. And to this day, I don't really know what that is. I mean, I know that it was like a web comic, but beyond that, I don't know anything about it, and I've kept it that way all these years. I think I can do a boat hire. I think I could put a boat hire at the end of like this row. But then my rows wouldn't connect like that. I think I'm gonna fill up half the park with ships. I'm gonna do something less laggy in the other half of the park so that I don't have to look at the lag. That's my plan. But like I had friends who were into like what's that guy's name? I had friends who were like really into the Nostalgia Critic when he was like, peak Nostalgia Critic, like late 2000s, early 2010s. And I was like, no, too popular, not interested. Dodged that bullet. Um Man, I even knew a guy or two who were bronies. Dodged that bullet too. So yeah, I don't know. Just resolutely refusing to be into things other people are into is how I got here, playing OG Xbox games all day. Shoot, I don't own that. I don't own that island. Hang on. Hang on. This screws things up, don't they? Doesn't it? Can I buy that island? No. All right. Well, um, do I have construction rights over the? I might have to. I'm gonna have to cut this short because I don't think I can build a path past there. Yeah, that's probably it. That's probably it. That island is protected because some kind of bird. Oh no, we can just build right on top of it. We're good. We're good. No, we're paving over the protected bird island. We're fine. It's all good. And you know what's crazy? This isn't actually that crazy, but this is something that I learned at some point in my life a long time ago, but back in like the 1800s and stuff, there was a law in the books in the US that if you found an uninhabited island with like lots of bats on it, you could just like stake your claim for the United States. It was like the Guano Island Act, and the idea was that it was so valuable for fertilizer back before we could just like make fertilizer through whatever that fucking process is called. You know what I'm talking about. But like before we had that, like we really just used like bat shit for our fertilizer. And so there was a law that you could just like stake claims to be like this island is part of the United States now, and there was like hundreds of islands, just like random shit out in the Pacific and stuff. Just like sand blobs like this that were just like randomly part of the United States because of this. And I think nowadays we've like given up most of them, but there are some that we still have. And I just find that kind of interesting. Because it was just like it wasn't like the government staking the claim. Like you, the United States citizen, would just be like, I have found sand. This is now American soil. and I own it. And it was just like, I guess you're allowed to do that. The people would like go out sailing looking for islands, I guess. Yeah, the converse side of all of this is that I've never I mean, I guess I is Yakuza a fandom? I think it probably is. But I've never really been like into fandom like that for anything. Does speedrunning count? Just like broadly? I guess I'm in the speedrunning community. That's maybe analogous. I mean like a big active one. Like I I don't know. You know what I mean? Like there are a lot of GameCube fans out there, but there's not like a GameCube fandom. If you go to a convention, you won't find GameCube cosplayers, or like you don't go to the GameCube meetup at the convention where everyone brings their merch of the Nintendo GameCube. It's just kind of not that way. Cosplay as a GameCube, I'd support that. It'd be bulky. It would have to be one of those like shit like cardboard costumes. Where so you're basically just have a cardboard box with straps. I feel like we could have interleaved them, the ships. Like I could have done this, bam, right, and then put the entrance and exit there. That would have been, man, that we could have packed these ships so much tighter. I might delete the park and redo it. Honest, look at what you could just do. Look at that. Why didn't I think of that like 20 minutes ago? Can I build? How much space do I have at the end of these? 3. Oh, that means I can do, hang on. Huge play about to happen. We can't center it, but not enough cash. I've run my... This is apparently a bad way to make money. What do you mean not enough cash? I have 700 guests in my park. I mean, I guess these rides... It is only $1.50. It is only $1.50, so this is a bad money-making strategy. But also, I was building very quickly, so maybe if I just sat and just let the money roll in... Okay, yeah, check that out. The money does roll in. The money does roll in, you just have to stop building for a second and let it. Anyway, the whole, like... The whole, like, zoning thing is gonna be really miserable to do in this park. So I'm just gonna hire, like, an army of handymen, and hopefully they can just do it. The cool thing about this is that I don't even have to tell them not to mow the lawn, because there's no grass, you know? So that's good, I can place handymen faster. Yes, you may be a panda. Unless you want to be a tiger or an elephant. Apparently those are options too. I don't think I've ever changed it. What's your name? Pixel. Listen, I'm bad with names, okay? Oop, didn't mean to hire you. Get out of here. I do know my viewers. I just forgot who asked. That's all. This is fucked up. How many ships do I have? Let's see. Rides. There are 59 swinging ships. I've built 59 of them. And each one was $407. That's 59 times 407. Actually, that's only 24K spent on swinging ships. That's a little bit concerning about cash flow, considering that I started the scenario with 25K. But I don't know. I'm sure it's fine. Guest thoughts check in. Sickening. We only have incredibly nauseating rides in this park. It's 59 ships. There are amenities at the front of the park. I built food, drink, bathroom, umbrella. So I'll probably build those things. Like once we get to this part of the park, I'll build them here too. But I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Listen, this is why we have so many cleaners. There's literally just permanently someone in the bathroom cleaning it. It's not like they come by every hour to clean it. There's just a guy on standby with a mop. Multiple guys on standbys with mops. Bit unfortunate that it can't be symmetrical, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. That looks so stupid. That looks so dumb. Wait, does that mean I could have built one here as well? I thought I couldn't do that. Maybe I can't do it on the other side. Hang on. I think maybe it's not quite even on both sides. Yeah, I only own 2 here. So I can only build extra stuff on the end on this side. What do you mean abomination? This is my amusement park. You have to be polite to me. I've worked very hard on it. Oh god. The lag, dude. Holy shit. It's like, look what happens as I scroll the stuff off screen. How fast the scroll speeds up. I wish that like I wish that the speed of the in-game timer were not tied to game speed, like or tied to the frame rate or whatever, you know? Like the whole game slows down, including the timer. So if you're looking at lag, the scenario literally just takes longer to finish. And I think that kind of sucks, because otherwise, I would love to just behold my lag. But it's like it's like a Medusa head amusement park. If you stare at it, you just freeze up. You can't look at it. We got 3 years to do this. Well, I can build probably the last layer of ships, honestly. I think I'm going to do something else after this layer of ships for the other half of the park. We definitely got to finish off the ships, though. Oh, wait, this might not. Why not let me build this? Oh, okay, we're good. We're good. I actually am a bit surprised they let me build this. Wait, do I just actually... Do I own that land? Why are they why are they letting me build that? I have no idea. Also, why is this? Oh, it's off by 1. Hang on. This is just a bad scenario. I don't know. Yeah, I agree. I think anything I build would lag to shit because of all of the supports. Like if I turn on invisible supports, here's my beautiful park. It doesn't even help that much. It helps a little bit, but I think part of it is just that probably there's a lot of sprites involved in the ship somehow. Because it does reduce lag, like, noticeably. But it's still not perfect. Maybe nothing is perfect, though. Learning life lessons from Rollercoaster Tycoon. I kind of don't want to ruin... You know what? I'm going to ruin it. Because I want to build another... I want to build another... carousel here. Well, I could build a ship. How would a ship fit? The ship would not fit, that's how. Problem is it keeps turning off the invisible supports. Wait, how does this work? Oh, it works like this. Okay, yeah. Here we go. Now we've got 2 of them. Very nice. I think the thing is, Ahumi, that's kind of complicated. Like, I know that ride price depends on how old the ride is, and I think it might also depend on how many of the same type of ride you have in the park. I know that affects something, and I think it's price. Wait, does that mean I could do... No, it just doesn't quite fit. Unless... No, it just doesn't quite fit. That's... Or does it quite fit? Hang on. Yeah, this fits. Sorta. No, it doesn't fit. I haven't been adding... It was chairlifts. I was adding chairlifts to every park, but we had a couple scenarios not give me chairlifts, so I haven't really been doing it in the DLC ones, unfortunately. And I don't have one here. Though this would be a great park to put a chairlift in. I think we sort of have... I want to do, at some point, a cycle railway over the whole park, just like a big loop. I feel like this would be an insane thing to be cycling over, and you look down at the madness. I think if I do this, then we can... Oh god, no. No, give me my camera back. We can do that. That's kind of weird looking. Now it kind of looks like it has a face on the front. This is like some kind of weird carpet creature. And then this is its face in the front. He's got like ears. The carousels are the ears. And then these are the eyes, and this one's the mouth. You see what I'm seeing? There we go. Now it's the same on this side too. Oh yeah, the whole time. It was always the plan. For sure. If I position the camera, I might have to do an extra row, because I would love to be able to position the camera in a way that you just couldn't see the end of it, you know? Like, we can't zoom in more than this, and you can kind of still see in the top corner that it ends. You know what? Hang on a second. Where's Pixel? Where are you? I have an idea. I can't even control the mouse because the game is lagging too much. Can I not put a person on top of this? Well, never mind then. I kind of wanted to put him, like, here. Oh, it's probably because there's maybe no path. Hang on. That's a good point. This is, like, unplayable, by the way. I'm gonna have to do something about this. Land not owned by Park. Oh, well, that explains it. Land isn't owned by Park. So I can't. I guess that's how they make sure I don't just delete the bridge and just do whatever I want, right? That's probably why it's like that. I just remove everything. Now it kind of looks like they're on water, actually. I kind of like this better. Like without the with the paths being see-through and the support structures that the rides are on being see-through. If we could just get rid of these like brown beams, it would just be they would just be ships in the ocean. It would be perfect. Well, here, I do have to actually be able to see the path to know. Oh man, that looks so good. That's even better. Okay, underground view is what was getting rid of the path. Yeah, things are pretty screwed up in some parts of the park. Definitely have to just keep hiring handymen. It's the only way. I have 18 of them. I have 18 of them already, man. But yeah, I don't know. We have to come up with something to do for the second half of the park. Keeping in mind that I do think there's a ride cap. I know there's a sprite limit. I know that's a thing. But I'm pretty sure there's also a ride cap. Just like straight up, you cannot build more than 128 rides in your park or something like that. And at this point, I've built 64 swinging ships. Super Mario 64 reference. I guess that means technically, if the limit were 128, I could just build 128 ships. It's possible. But, we're only in September year 1. So we're not even... Yeah, I've definitely spent too much time looking at the lag. We are not even 1/3 of the way done with this scenario after an hour. And I think a year in this game is supposed to be in the ballpark of 45 minutes. So we do kind of have a problem as far as, like, what do I do on stream? Like, we're at 1,070 guests, so we haven't beat the scenario yet. But I can't look at my park, otherwise we'll be here for like 5 hours. Time to side game OSRS. I'm not asking for a yes or no on this, because I know there are people watching who do know, and I haven't been told because I don't know. They sealed up all of their leaks that they've got going, but I'm like 48% sure that RuneScape is going to be in Discord Wars this year. I'm just saying, with Pi randomly playing it the other day and even SG bonded up, it's just sus. The timing is just sus is all I'm saying. I wouldn't be surprised. So I might be getting back into RuneScape soon, possibly. Like I said, 47% sure. I don't actually know, but I might have to play a lot of RuneScape in the near future. Swinging Ship 35 still hasn't been fixed. Well, why not? Hang on, I don't have a lot of... I have 3 mechanics. That's a Fire Emblem 47%, which means that it is using that, like, 2-number mechanic that they have in that game, but it's 47%, so the actual odds are still pretty close. What do I do? I guess probably there could be... I should add a second set of the stalls. I think. Should I? Can people find the bathrooms and stuff? Yeah, everyone can. Everyone is saying that the rides are a really good value. I'm kind of worried about it. Because, like, now I know that over 3 years, they're not going to... Like, the rides are not going to depreciate in value enough that the guests won't go on them anymore. You know, like, that's not a concern. For a buck 50, we do have 3 years worth of use of the ships, so I'm not gonna have to worry about all of my ships suddenly being empty. But like, I don't know if I could make them much more expensive, or I'd have to like adjust them all. First of all, at this point we're in too deep. I don't want to have to adjust all of that. Why hasn't swinging ship 35 been fixed yet? It's just that one right there. I'm gonna put a guy next to it. It's pretty funny. Only one of them is red. I didn't know that the game worked this way. Every ride after the first one was just the green and yellow one, so I just have the one red ship. That's how you know that this ship is the one with the main character on it, because they made it look different. He's wearing a red shirt, so you can tell that it's him. I've always been using the Tycoon cover. The whole time, I've always been repping Rollercoaster Tycoon ever since... Was it you who made it? It might have been you who made it. But since then, I just sort of like replaced... I just like went into where I have all of the box arts, and I just replaced the default one with Rollercoaster Tycoon, so it goes to this when I set the game. I don't have to like set it myself. This is kind of interesting. There's some water over here. And swinging ship 30... I think we're having a problem. I think that the mechanics might be having a hard time finding their way to the rides, which is weird because it's just a big grid. They shouldn't be having a problem. But I feel like the mechanics are having trouble. I mean, they're also just like all occupied all the time, so hopefully 10 mechanics will cover it. What was I gonna side game last time? When I was playing Thrillville, we were joking about me side gaming something. I don't know if I did it. We were joking about setting up a second Xbox and just playing a different Xbox game, but that's too much effort. I was side gaming something. Oh yeah, I was playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. I did end up side gaming something. Right, I remember now. Because, not gonna lie, we're gonna be here for a long time today. And we're already at 1,200 guests, so I've already beaten this scenario. So essentially, all I have to do is sit here and do nothing for the next 2 hours, and then we win. So, like... I should come up with something to do. That we're not just truly sitting here doing nothing. It is tempting to play some GameCube, to be honest with you. Can I set this... I have an idea. Hang on a second. Yeah, I kind of have. This is why I don't normally do this, and why I probably won't do it again. The thing about Roller Coaster Tycoon is that like you could always just break it, right? Like I have engaged in the strats, and it's just like, well, there you go then. Turns out, instead of all of the effort that you put in to build good roller coasters and designing your park to be good, you don't actually need to do any of that to win. You can just do this, and it's way faster, and it's just objectively better in every way. And it's just like, well, that sucks, because we have 60 more scenarios to play through. So I don't think I'll do this. I think I will try for nicer looking parks going forward. But I did just want to do this once to see, just to see, you know? But now I've seen, and yeah, this is definitely not the most fun way to play the game, so we will not be doing this going forward. Like, I can't even look at the park. If I look at the park, we lose like an hour and a half. And like, I don't have that, like, I don't have an hour and a half. We're gonna be here really, really late if I look at the park, unfortunately. I think I'll just build like a sick roller coaster on the remainder of the park. This half of the park will be the good half, and then that half is ship land. Swinging Ship 18 still hasn't been fixed. I don't understand why they have such a hard time. I think it's because I think the way this game works, technically every one of these entrance and exits is an intersection. And because of that, the path is like a lot more complicated than it appears. If you have an answer, Americus, like you know why the ship isn't working, then yeah, sure, go for it. But I think that it's just, that is the answer, yeah. It's just, they just have a really hard time pathfinding to it. And I don't really know what to do about that, aside from hiring more mechanics. I'm pretty sure the way the game works is that when a ride breaks down, it finds the closest mechanic and then calls him to come fix it. And then that guy does pathfinding to fix it. So I think as long as I have enough mechanics, they'll hopefully sort of distribute themselves throughout the park so that the mechanic that gets called is always close enough to not get lost on his way there. I think that's what we have to hope for. Stream where I just read the code. It'd have to be it'd have to be OpenRCT, because definitely can't read the actual code. I'm not that good. I'm not even good enough for OpenRCT. This is my great shame as a computer programmer, but I basically just always avoided having to understand C. C and C++ are like, if I really have to, I guess I can read this, sort of. But I mostly tried to avoid it. And I definitely couldn't write it. think it can probably do this. Problem is, this is a wooden coaster, so it's also going to create a ton of lag on the other side of the park. There's no winning. Do I have the splash? I don't have the splash. That's a shame. This would be the perfect spot. Let's see, that gets as high as 25. So yeah, this is totally fine. Oh, oop. That's apparently lined up wrong. I think we want a tighter turn here. And then that gets me in between, and that's pretty cool. Have I secretly built like an actually good coaster here? On this scenario that I've kind of ruined? This looks kind of good, actually. Well, no, because how am I going to end this? Well, let's just see if I've got speed to work with. Let me just do a like fake out ending here so that I can test it. But I feel like this is a really cool looking ride. The way it's like, it stays in this quadrant of the park. It kind of goes back in on itself. Swinging Ship 18 is still not fixed. Damn. I think 18, is 18 like, is it this one? Yeah. I'm just gonna find, like, who's looking for it. Heading for Swinging Ship 18. I'm just gonna pick you up and drop you right next to it. Not getting the call. He's not even getting the call. Okay, come on, turn around. Heading for Swinging Ship 18. He's gonna fix it. Let's go. I guess I could have used up a lot more of this space over here with this ride. Oh well. I don't think I can get over this at this point. Yeah, the stats are going to be bad because of those turns at the end, but we still have a lot of speed to work with. The stats aren't even that bad. The stats on this are going to be really good in the end. Hang on. I think we can... I think we can maybe... If I can get over here again, then I can loop it around like that. and then have it come in there. And I feel like that's the play, you know? See, that's 13. I don't know if I can get under. If I do this, because that's where the entrance building is. That's like, that's just not gonna, well, I don't have to put the entrance building there, though. I kind of just put it there for no reason. I can move that somewhere else, like that, and then now I can do this. Can't footpath in the way. How about that? That puts me a bit more aligned with what I want. I think. Actually, that lines me with directly into there, so no, that's not what I want at all. This doesn't actually work, does it? Well, we could go under the bridge. Except that then the ride would be really boring unless I build it like way out here, which I could just do. Let's just see if I have the speed. And that still doesn't work, because this is gonna be too low now. I would have to delete this part of the track and just make it that, which, I mean, technically that works. But this obviously could be made a little bit less lame. They did a Broken Sword 2 remake. I didn't even know about that. I've still never played a Broken Sword game. My first one is gonna be when we do Broken Sword 3 for Xbox thing, which is supposed to be not the best one, but I'm looking forward to it anyway. Someday I will get really into adventure games. I say that a lot, but someday. Two is peak. 3.04. The stats keep going up though. This is gonna be a really good ride. Once I finish it. This might be like the actual best coaster I ever build. Or that I've ever built so far. I think we can maybe get this high up. on-ride photo section under the bridge. That's how it's done. I think we have a problem, though, where, like, this turn is just always going to be unbanked. Unless I move up the on-ride photo section, but I would love to put the splash down here. I don't know if I'm ever gonna like get that. Like if I min-max into like if I only research ride improvements, maybe I can get it. And then this would totally be the spot. Broken Sword 1 is the most iconic intro ever. I'm kind of just too much of a freak though. Like, I'm doing Xbox thing, right? I've got my list of 400 whatever Xbox games. If I wanted to play adventure games, even if I wasn't streaming them, I would still probably basically do this. I would make a big list, and then I would have to do them in some kind of systematic way. How does the lateral Gs, how do they keep going up? How is that happening? Because there's too many good ones. How would I ever, like, choose what to play otherwise? I think I just have to make this stick out more. I don't think I'm really helping anything by doing this, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of like this. I'm just weirdly kind of like this. I can't just play a video game for its own sake. Oh yeah, no, I remember why I was doing that. Because the hope is that if I make this stick out a bit more... I could put another hill in. And then on-ride photo section. Footpath and way, fine. On-ride photo section after there. Right there. Well, I think that what I might have to do is put the on-ride photo section before. That's a little crappy. But then it allows me to do banked turn. And then there. No, I don't know that guy. Is there someone who is on a quest to watch every anime? That sounds... I mean, at least with a video game challenge, you're playing video games. He completed it? He watched... What? No, he didn't. That's way too... There's, like, probably more anime than you could watch in a lifetime. Like, even if you just have anime... Yeah, okay. He claimed to watch every anime. You would have to have, like, 3 screens of anime going at all times, and then you're not watching all of it. Okay, well... I agree with the philosophy of skipping the sports trash, actually. No sports anime. Only 6.52? Are you for real? I thought this was gonna be like an 8 or a 9. I thought we were cooking with this one. Only 6.52. That is so disappointing. I'm still opening it, but like... And it's gonna be $7. But like, really? Only 6.52? Yeah, if I put like stuff in the water or something like that. At a theme park? I do have a theme park. It's just over here. They can see. They have eyeballs. They can look over there at the theme park. I really don't like how this game works sometimes. Invisible supports. Okay, is the exit as far back as it can go? Roller in the way. How big even is the platform for this? It's only 1, 2, 3. I think it's only 5, which is kind of unfortunate. I feel like ideally you want more than that. This does mean that there's only going to be one car in the track, so we don't have to worry about a potential crash, which is really good. I'm just going to move this down here, like over there, so that I can build my path without having to deal with the game being weird. Game's going to be weird, isn't it? There's no saving it. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I hate to do it, but I'm just gonna do this. Okay, no one died. Perfect. I thought I was just sort of assuming I was gonna have to kill some people to accomplish my goals. I don't like how tiny this queue is. The queue should be so much larger than this for this ride. But whatever. There you go. It's open. It's good. It's good, honestly. I like it. I feel like it's like a proper coaster layout. Usually everything I make kind of looks like garbage. This kind of looks real a little bit. That's 4 of my boats breaking down at the same time. The only part that's not perfect is the ending. The ending is not perfect. Ball and gun gamers, I mean, no strong opinion about the people themselves, because I feel like it's, I feel like that just is most, like, normal people. So I can't really be like, I hate them. They disgust me. Because that's just like, I think they're just probably people, you know? But, I don't know. No strong feelings, honestly, because I feel like that's just people who are not extremely into video games. Casual video game enjoyer, you know? That's just the stuff. They probably deserve less terrible ball and gun games, honestly. I mean, mostly saying that about the ball games, because, like, man, I mean, all of them are just, that is definitely, like, ground zero of just terrible monetization nightmares, right? You know, I know for a number of years all like the EA sports games have been full of like gambling loot box type shit. I don't know if like Call of Duty has gambling loot box shit. It wouldn't surprise me if it did, but it definitely has like Fortnite cosmetic shit and like battle pass stuff going on in it. That's kind of like it's all just bad. It's all just bad, and also the games are all $80, at least 70. Imagine paying $70 for a yearly sports game. I think that's how it is though. I wish that this game didn't work this way. That guy's fixing a merry-go-round. Guy's walking for swinging ship. Is this 20 that he's going to? I can't actually read that. Yeah, I can't actually read that. Next time it complains about 20 not being fixed, I'll click on it. I feel like the problem is, like, buying more mechanics raises the odds that there will be a mechanic right in front of the ride when it breaks down, so they just instantly fix it. But if a mechanic happens to not be there, then you still end up with a lost mechanic, and they don't, like, reassign it very quickly. Like, it takes a long time for it to put out the call again to a new closest mechanic. And because of that, you just end up sometimes with, like, wanderers who are never going to get there, and then another mechanic will walk right by the broken ride and not fix it because he's not the one assigned to do it. The mechanic system, you know, if I could get in there and just change it, I think the change I would make is that if a mechanic walked by a broken ride, they would fix it even if they weren't the one assigned to fix it. I think if you do that, you fix the problem that I have here. And that would be good. But also, I think Chris Sawyer wasn't playing the game this way, so he probably didn't run into this problem necessarily. But he must have known. The ride could go on a lot longer, technically. You can zone mechanics, but in this specific instance, it would be really hard to zone them. The paths aren't lined up with the zoning grid lines, and also the zoning anyone on a path over water is kind of tricky, because like you can't really see that well if you're doing it right, and especially now that there's a lot of dense construction, it would be really hard to do. But yeah, he was probably just thinking that you should zone your mechanics and that would fix it. So, like, yeah, if the mechanics were zoned, we wouldn't be having this problem. Completely true. Pin of 3 reds is broken down. I don't know that that one's broken down yet. That might be the first breakdown for Pin of 3 reds. Guests are hungry. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to build a new set of... Hang on. I mean, the thing is, I'm just gonna have to sort of put stalls throughout, I think. Because, like, it's just kind of fucked up. Like, the guests... There's not really a good central place to put all of the stalls, you know? Like, even if I put it in the center, the arms of the park are so far out that, like, stuff in the center is close to other stuff in the center, but very far from things at the extremities. Direction is facing. Oh, I guessed correctly. Cool. Park rating is probably 999. Yep, sure is. It probably is taking its toll, because I think it always takes its toll. It's just being offset. The power of having 1,600 guests in the park who are all enjoying being trapped in eternal boat hell because they can't find their way out. I'm surprised that I'm having issues with the pathfinding with like the mechanics, but I'm not having issues with the pathfinding of the guests. Like, none of them are complaining about being trapped in the park or anything. So that's good. They're all able to find the exit okay. Okay, swinging ship 20 is this one right here. I'm also surprised they're not complaining about the paths being too crowded. So I feel like we have a bit of an overcrowding issue if you look at the paths, especially the ones close to the entrance. Like, look at how many guests are on some of these paths. I wish I could resize these windows and see what it is he's heading for. Hopefully it gets resolved eventually. They're breaking down so often. Also, we still have this quadrant of the park to do something with. Might just do another coaster. That might be an interesting look. This part is like super dense boats, and then this part is like coaster and then coaster, like slotting in. But, like, the thing is, like, I was a bit surprised by the stats on the wooden coaster only being 6.5 because the expansion pack coasters all have, like, insane stat boosts. Like, it's literally pay to win. The Steel Wild Mouse coaster, I've been getting rides. I think I got one to be, like, 9 excitement once. I think one of those things I built might have been 9 excitement. And, like, I didn't even try that hard. I wasn't even really trying at all, and it just was 9 excitement. So I think that's changed my perspective of how stats should be. What if I just built a wild mouse on each side? Maybe that could be cool. How much money do I have? Oh, I'm incredibly rich. Okay, perfect. I could build like a dense wild mouse here, and then like a different dense one on this side. So it's like all coaster, and then all vomit. Just garbage on that side. Hey, Ketrob. Scenario's going kind of like this. That's kind of how it is. Here's my park. We're up to some stuff. I discovered why it's bad to cheese a roller coaster tycoon scenario. This needs to be like really rectangular shaped. Yeah, longest ride is uncontested. Very uncontested. It's this one. We'll see if that fits. Also, this is going to take me like an hour to type, so... Oh, God. Okay. M, R... It's not that wild of a ride, really. It's like a mild ride about. It's not that wild. Okay. Um no. Shit. Uh 75 hours and I'm not any better at using this keyboard. Man, I built a masterpiece over there with the wooden coaster, and this is gonna be a pile of junk, isn't it? I have a hard time building wild mouse coasters that aren't just big squares. It's really hard for me to not just build a giant square. Too much of a cube fan. That's as tall as it goes. Can't do that. Yeah, I mean, that's how it should be, for sure. I was kind of hoping to make this like a big... Like, I want this to take up... I want this ride to be really long. I want it to ideally take up this entire kind of like eighth of the park. To just be one giant-ass rectangular wild mouse, but I don't think I can actually do this. Like, I'm not gonna be able to get it dense enough. It's gonna look bad no matter what I do. I mean, maybe I just build two of them then. One here and one here, and then they're both just square. And then I just have path. And that's fine, because I have lots of path in this park, and it's fine. Like, here's an idea. I can split this in half. Like so. And then we can build one on each one of these halves. So now we're dealing with a much tighter rectangle. And then maybe I can make this work. Make use of that island for the drop height, too. This might be too much of a drop. This might be a little too much speed to ever do anything with. Also, the edge of the park is right here. I think that is just too much of a killer. I think you die if you go on this ride. I think you definitely die if you go on this ride. I don't see what you mean. This ride, what's wrong with my park? Why would it close? The rides have a really hard time staying operational, but look, if one boat breaks down, there's 63 others you can go on, so really there's nothing to complain about. Doesn't look good. I mean, how much speed have I used? Like, where are we on speed right now? A longing to visit a park. I don't know that there are any around me. And last time I visited a park, I got really sick. I've definitely told that story a number of times on stream, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about amusement parks now after that experience. The whole thing kind of left me wondering if I would ever enjoy an amusement park again. So I'm kind of just like chilling about the whole thing. I'm kind of already there. The swinging ship district. The swinging ship district. Yeah, we have multiple that have been broken for a long time. Ooh, I think this one right here just got fixed. Like, they break down like 4 at a time, so obviously they are being fixed, just generally speaking, but hang on, I have a terrible idea. But yeah, I've already like used up all of the speed by the time I get here. I don't know how that happened. It's a massive hill, and I somehow used up all of the speed. I think no matter what I do, this is just a miss. I think the steel wild mouse is gonna look like garbage no matter what I do with it. And I'm better off doing like a water slide, just like a sick water slide of some kind. Even though these are also very problematic usually. The thing about the water slide is that it's like the dinghy slide or the dinghy coaster or whatever they call it, where if you build up too much speed, then you'll die on the turns. And you can fix it by just covering the turns, but then it looks ugly. So I don't like to cover the turns. Like that's, oh yeah, they don't just die on turns, they also die on like the slope to non-slope, like that. So like this would totally kill them. This thing right here, it would just launch them. Because they're not being held down, right? They have to do like this. Then you're like covering and uncovering parts of the track and it just looks terrible. It feels terrible. Oh, we've got that ride as a problem as well to deal with, right? Like I kind of have to go around it a little bit. Well, what am I? Okay, I'm there. I definitely don't have a way to end this as I've built it. Like, this needs to be shorter, but now it's, like, too short, so it's bad. If I do this... Maybe that's, like, kind of amusing. Probably don't have the speed for this. Oh, I don't actually need to. Hang on. So if I just do... Water slide in the way. If I just do... this... I mean, let me just see. I just kind of want to know where we're at right now. This is obviously not final over there. It kind of looks awful and I hate it, so we'll see. We'll see about even keeping this at all. It kind of looks awful and I hate it. Yeah, I should save. This game has never crashed. I will say this game has never crashed, so... Yeah, that's just not making it without... I mean, maybe it's fine that that's not making it without a second chain lift. I feel like the second chain lift is less shameful when it's a glide like this. I will go ahead and save, though. I have saved once already, but I'll do it again because I built that wooden coaster. That's a lie under the skin. There are totally CPU instructions that just kill the program. You never know if Chris Sawyer snuck one of those in. Maybe he did, to punish players who make too many of the same type of ride. This might be it. Oh no, but then he can't make it over that hill. This isn't it. They don't blow up though, they just get stuck because they're moving too slowly. In the way I see it, we have two options, which is either to give up on this ride because it sucks, or to put a chain lift here and then make the ride way longer and make it take up this entire space as well. And then we have this one sort of slice remaining unbuilt in the park to do something with. I'm gonna go with that. I kind of like the ending though. I feel like the ending where it's like that is kind of cheeky, so I'm gonna keep that. Shut up. So many notifications. I'm not going to be able to get like clean footage of my park for 30 seconds without it freaking out. I think that an S-bend can kill it as well. I think I have to S-bend right covered. Can I get this through here somehow? There's no way, right? No, there is no way. Unless, hang on. And then that only goes up to 18, so I feel like this can't work. I feel like this just literally can't work, but I have to know. Water slide in the way. I do like... Everything is breaking. What? One of those messages was interesting? Hang on. What'd I miss? My merry-go-round broke, but... Oh. Welp. I mean, okay, so I'm pretty sure what just happened. I know about this. I know about this from a Marcel Voss video. Apparently, it's a known glitch with the game that every once in a while, if the exit to your ride is over water, then when a mechanic fixes your ride, they clip through the exit and kill themselves, and they drown. And I think that's what's happened there to mechanic number 13, of course. I think that's a thing. I'll hire 3 new ones in his place. Maybe I'll build a little memorial for him. Yeah, it is kind of a skill issue to clip through the ground and die like that. Like, I've never clipped through the ground before. So, sucks to be him. I'm sorry for your loss, but it is kind of a skill issue. Okay, so somehow I need to connect this back to there. I think the way we do this is with a whole bunch of S-bends. Can we get there? Can't quite get there. That line up, that is lined up. All right, let's see how this works. Honestly, the ride is bigger on this side than it is on this side now. Fine by me. This is a massive... This is probably... If this ride is longer than that one, I'm gonna have to transfer the name over to this. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I had to name one of these rides a really long ride. Someone paid channel points for that. Hold up. I have to respect all channel point suggestions. Really long ride. There we go. I feel like there's a real chance that this turn will kill humans. It doesn't kill the test vehicle, but the test vehicle is, like, too light. A heavier boat is going to be moving a bit faster here, and I do think this is probably steep enough to kill. And I really don't want to have a repeat of what happened last week, where I had some people die, like, 1 month before the end of the scenario, and it was really scary. I nearly lost because of them. Yeah, it had nothing to do with me building the ride wrong. It had everything to do with them being heavy enough to die. Oop. Didn't put a, okay, whoops. Well, let's go ahead and put roofs here. So this way, if they're going to die on these turns, they actually just smash their head into the ceiling, and it just kind of hurts a bit, but they keep going. There, that's what I have to do. Just cover the whole thing. Takes forever to test this thing. The ride is way too long. I guess if you were really... I'm just like thinking about this scenario. It's 1,200 guests in 3 years. I guess what you probably do, if you think about it, I feel like I could put another split here. Hang on, I want to watch my ride. But I feel like I could split each of the main quadrants in half, kind of like the long way. And then we could split each of those 4 kind of 16ths in half as well. And then you could probably build 32 kind of smallish, but kind of like good compact, whatchamacallit, steel wild mouse coasters. And that would like probably work. There's no way this makes it up that hill. It made it up the hill with enough speed to die, really. I didn't even think it was gonna make it up at all. Well, there. And then after that, everything is enclosed. So I don't actually know for sure that it can make it up this, but the fact that it crashed seems to imply that it probably can. You know what? I'm gonna put a boat hire in my last quarter, or maybe like a... Actually, I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do with my last bit of real estate. My final 1/16 here. No, because I don't think I have a chairlift. Oh, I do have a chairlift. Okay, yes. I will do a chairlift. I was just gonna do like a cycle. I was just gonna do a cycle that just goes back and forth to fill the space. I was maybe gonna stack 2 of them on top of each other, but I could just make like a... I could just make a stupid chairlift in there. That'd be great. Well, it's that they're made of a very flammable plastic. Like, you ever see that, like, I don't think they still do this, but until more recently than you'd think, I think ping pong balls were made out of, like, some kind of incredibly flammable material. Okay, it didn't make it up. That's interesting. There's like the plastic that ping pong balls were made out of is some kind of like super flammable shit for some reason. But then that conflicts with that. Hang on. An idea. Just do this. That's 11, though. How do I... Oh, okay, just make this not as steep. That's how. But then that can't go like that. No, this does have to turn here. Kinda lame, but there, fixed it. So the ride will probably finish now, I hope. It really shouldn't be... This is a water slide. I'm not even sure how it could catch on fire. There's water everywhere. And don't at me with, like, actual IRL, like, water parks that have caught on fire, because I know that that's actually happened, but, like, those were weird situations. Just like a water ride operating normally should probably not catch on fire. There's, like, no... There's water there. Like, it would just get put out. It's too wet. It takes forever for it to do this turn. It just barely makes that. I feel like in practice, this ride, like, light guests are gonna have a problem with that or something. Some people might die on this ride. I'm willing to open it anyway, but there might be a few deaths that happen. You've got to be shitting me, dude. It can't make it up that hill at the end. How? I might just open it anyway. Humans can totally make that. You know what? No. I'm just gonna... We might still have a problem. But I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna be incredibly lazy with it. There you go. There's my ride. Thank you for riding. Here's a 4th chain lift at the end, just for fun. Disgusting state of the paths. Yeah, after I'm done building this, I do kind of want to investigate the disgusting state of the paths. Or something. I don't want to make the queue too long because guests are going to be waiting a really long time because this is a super long ride. But there we go, it's open. It's not the greatest thing ever. It might cause some deaths, but whatever happens, it's not my fault. Oh my god, yeah, in here the state of the paths is really bad. I'm gonna drop a couple more guys in there. Anywhere else where it looks kind of bad? It looks pretty clean in there, aside from that one spot. They're doing a good job keeping it clean. I'm gonna stick him in a corner, whatever. But yeah, I was thinking I could do like... I don't really want anyone to like wait in a long... Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Actually, I've made my decision. We are gonna split this in half. This way. And then in here, we're gonna build a boat hire. We've got this penned-in area for a boat hire, which they're still gonna manage to screw up somehow, but whatever. Oh wait, that can't be there, because that's not exactly gonna work. Do we want here, here, but I can't build all the way to the edge, otherwise they'll not be able to get out. Oh wait, I did just build all the way to the edge, didn't I? On both of those. Okay, yeah, whoops. Bam. And then... Bam. Dude, I'm about to drown these 3 people. Can we not do this? You stop walking on that, please. There's nothing there. Merry-go-round 1's been broken for a while. Oh, I actually had... Wait, no I didn't. It did have to be this way. We're gonna do that, and we're gonna set this... They don't really like boat hires that are like any amount of money, so... Just gonna make it a free boat hire. We'll have people boating around in there. Hang on, what boats do I have available to me? The rowing boats? Oh, of course the swan boats. Hang on. Get the hell off my boat hire. We gotta swap out the boats. Obviously, we want the swan boats. Those are much more fun. Maybe I can even do, like, I think I can do... like, make... Or wait, main color scheme. Different colors per boat. Boat 3. And this one can be, like, the... Wait, they can go over there? Oh my god, no, okay. That's a problem. They can go under the boat hire. They can go under the swinging... Okay, well, that's fucked. These people are never finding their way home. I thought this would kind of serve as a wall. And it didn't. It didn't. They can just leave. They're breaking containment. He's breaking containment. Hang on, I have to do something about that. I actually can't let them do that. It'll be really bad. Don't go that way. I don't know if this actually stops them in any way. Okay, it kind of does. Check that out. Well, this is like fucked up, but uh they kind of okay, once they yeah. Okay, yeah, there we go. Perfect. Now the problem is my team that escaped containment. I think I do have to shut the ride down to get them off it. Otherwise they can't like survive. But it seems like they're going to be able to sort of squeeze through there, okay. It's really awkward. Like they have a really hard time doing it. But they can kind of do it. It would be easier if I just made it only 3 boats instead of 4. But I don't want to do that. So they'll just have to like phase through there in order to get out every time. That's fine. There we go. Problem solved. And then on this side, I want to build... has to be set back too. How much further out can I build? I can kind of build a bit further out. The goal is 1,200 guests. I'm currently at 1560, so we've got the goal. When does this... does it ever? No, it doesn't. Yeah, apart from the terrain, it's business as usual. The trick to this one is that you're building entirely over water, and the park is kind of small. And you start with literally nothing. But, you know, not much of a trick as long as you know what you're doing. Path in the way. How is that footpath in the way? Where am I building? This is probably going to be Mr. Bones' wild ride, by the way. I think this is what it's actually going to be. The longest ride in the park. This doesn't need to be 11. Hang on. There we go. Weird, dense chairlift. Ah, crap. I boxed myself in. That's... whoops. I see, because that's 9 and that's in front. Yeah. I boxed myself in. We can't build it with this. If that were a bit higher up, though... it's kind of hard to see. It's kind of hard to see this ride, isn't it? It sort of just looks like lines. I could, like, click the exact pixel or something. I mean, that's at 9? Like, how does this work? Okay, we want to click on the... Or, well... Actually, I think the problem is this line here, which just has to be a bit higher. This is actually an easy fix. We just make this 14. And then hopefully this works now. Come on. Okay, well now I can put that there at least. And then we can put the exit there, because that was always fine. And then we can do a bunch of stuff with this. We're going to have to delete a bunch of path here. Yeah, longest game is this, and aside from this, it's Morrowind. I don't know that anything will actually beat Morrowind. Aside from this as well. Like, it's gonna be this, because this is gonna be over 200 hours. This is gonna be the longest thing I ever play on stream. Hopefully. Oh no. Does it have to be... Can we not put this in continuous circuit mode? I forgot about that. Oh, shit. I forgot that you have to put these not in continuous circuit mode. That just ruins everything. I have to delete this ride now. I like it so much, too. That sucks. Why can't they just allow continuous circuit mode on these? That's so lame. Yeah, I think I just have to delete this ride. R.I.P. It was a good ride. Here's what I can do instead. We're still going to build a chairlift here. We just have to do it a bit differently. That's 9. We can do... Is that true? I know Forza took the other guy a really long time, Big Tall, but no offense to Big Tall, but he takes a really long time on a lot of games that didn't take me anywhere near as long. I think he just plays games kind of slow or something. So, like, that's not... Like, we might be okay. Even though I think he played, like, 90 hours of Forza. But I don't really know much about, like, what the clear condition is there. So it might actually just be a whole ton of Forza. It could be. There we go. That's what I'll actually build. That still looks kind of good. It's a little bit less dense, but I kind of like its symmetry. Also, no queue line is kind of strange, but it's fine. Go ahead and crank up the speed on this thing. I know, my one friend that I had as a kid who had an OG Xbox, he had Forza, and he used to just do longest track in the game, maximum laps, and just, like, mess around. So I think a full race of it would take, like, an hour or two. Something like that. Where did the boats are still escaping? Look, there's one over here. I don't know that I can have a boat hire here. I don't think it's meant to be. I mean, I can, but it has to be like a fixed boat hire. It can't be a free one. What a great friend. I mean, we're still friends to this day, so... You know. What's his channel? He doesn't stream. He works at a marina on Long Island. I think he repairs people's boats and stuff, and, like, sells jet skis. Sorry, you're stuck with me. I'm much lamer. I'm sure I would enjoy it. I haven't played it yet. I mean, if it's longer than 4.5 minutes, then they're breaking my rule, but you never know. I can't put, like, a proper fountain in the water. All I can do is that. So this is pretty lame, but that'll do. That's the whole park filled. Really, the least filled part of the park is over here, but that's still dense enough that I'm not going to try to do anything about it. So I think this is a finished park. Kind of ridiculous looking. It is only May. Damn. We've still got like a half an hour. The scenario should be finishing around now-ish if it weren't for the lag. Just so we're clear. This is the actual time it's supposed to end at, but we got like another half an hour to go. I don't know what the final ride count is. I guess we could just count. It's 64 boats. 65 boats, because I put a 65th there. And then 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71 rides. That's how many there are. probably the worst lag of any park I've built. I don't know. There was the one where we had to build on top of the trees. That was probably about this bad. But I've learned my lesson, and my lesson is to not do this. It works. It works great, though weirdly, didn't I used to have more guests in the park than this? I feel like I used to have more. I had like 16 something. Somehow it went down to 1,500. I don't know what made it go down. Maybe I should run ads and see what I can do. I think there's not enough path in the park. I think we're going to get overcrowding issues if I do that. Oh, I should connect these paths right here, by the way. That would be a smart thing to do. I would love to connect here, but there's a ship in the way. It's really long ride, specifically, is the one that's in the way. But yeah, June, so we've got all of June, July, August, September. So we have 5 months, and each one takes at least 5 minutes. So yeah, we've got like a half an hour left. I was halfway through setting something up. Give me a second. Give me a second here. Oh god, this cable is all tangled up. Ugh. How did this happen? What the hell? How did this happen? Somehow... How... What the hell? Okay. Alright, there we go. Hang on. So, I should now be able to... Is it gonna work? I should now be able to... There we go. And we stick that in the corner. Look, GameCube. I had to plug in composite cables for this, so it looks really bad. Oh look, it's my GameCube. Let's stick this in the corner. You know, actually, the problem has just occurred to me. I have to play this through the capture card. Oh, I'm not viewing all the lag. I've zoomed out. When you're fully zoomed out like this, it, like, renders everything differently so that there's no lag. So we're totally fine right now. Time is advancing correctly. I feel like I could improve. think... Is Game & Watch the worst? No, Game & Watch is not the worst. I think Young Link is my worst score at this point. I can't see because it's too small. Hang on. We're just going to do this. We're just going to do this, and you're all going to have to be fine with that. But I think Young Link is my worst score at this point. I got him all over 1100 the other day. My boat hire dead? No, my boat hire's fine. I don't even... Can a boat hire break down? They probably can. I think every ride can break down except, like, the maze. We have to come up with a strategy for this. Like, what's good? This is what I'm gonna do while we wait for the scenario to finish. The park is too small is kind of the problem with this one. Like, they made the park just, like, too physically small, so I finished the park way before the scenario is done. I mean, the lag didn't help either, probably. But I finished the park just, like, way before the scenario is done. The park is water under the skin. What else am I gonna fill it with? It had to be boats. You can get, like... Is 19%... Like, what is it normally? It's 18. I'm only getting an extra percentage out of this. So that's, like, not even good. This is the problem with Young Link. All of his moves, like, suck for this. They cause too much knockback. There's none that just, like, hit downwards or hit upwards. They always hit to the side. I had something worked out where it was, like... You can do this. Even this isn't that good. Like, this isn't even going to be remotely close to 1100. Nope. How the hell did I get 1100 in the first place? I mean, maybe it would have been that. If I just do that faster, that would get us... That actually might be it. Oh, shit, the bat broke. That would have been it, though. That's like 70-something. So that's going to be, like, in the 90s of percentage. Like, still sucks because it's Young Link and Young Link sucks, but... Only 87. No, this isn't even it. That's not even close. I mean, I might have hit it wrong. That's not even 1,000. Damn, what did I do? I wonder what I did that time. Where we at here? July. Can I like fit an extra hit in somehow? Like that. The grab's not going to be any good, is it? Kind of interesting that the grab makes it, like, Young Link's down throw makes him go directly up. But I don't think this is helpful at all. I think any grab is going to be off the table. If I can do it in one jump, then maybe... Okay, it is possible. It's just kind of tricky, like, input-wise. I'm getting to the point where you have to, like, get kind of good at melee to be able to do better strats, and I'm, like, not that good at it from, like, a technical perspective, like, bad inputs and stuff. For the record, I think someone in chat once said that apparently Chris Sawyer does not like people cheesing his game. He does not approve of this type of gameplay. Though I don't know if that's true or not. You're looking at us waiting for this scenario to be over, because I literally filled the entire park, and we still have several months to go. So I'm waiting for the scenario to be over. I've learned my lesson, never fill the park really fast. The inputs are like YZB. Pump Z. It's like double tap Z. That's what I'm getting wrong. Yeah, there we go. I got 2 of them there. I think I can fit a 4th one in. I think it has to be that I have to fit 4 bat drops in. It's gonna be really hard. Guests are complaining. Hang on. Guests are complaining about the disgusting state of my paths. Who's complaining and where? There's nothing wrong with my paths. They're beautiful, just like the rest of my park. Where are the disgusting paths? There's just some spot that no one's been to in a while. So many of the rides are closed. There's so many closed ones, I think. Maybe there's not actually. I kind of thought I saw a few, but now I don't see them. Guest thoughts. It's too crowded here. There is a major overcrowding issue. Not a ton I can do about that, really. The overcrowding issue is just gonna be... It's always gonna be a thing, and it's kind of keeping my park rating from being like a stable 999. But to fix that, I would have to, like... I don't know. I'd have to, like, add a second layer to the park. That's just path. And I, like, don't want to mess with that. So I'm just not gonna mess with that. I'm not sure if Swinging Ship 29 will ever be fixed. I think it's that... I feel like it's Swinging Ship... Well, it was 20 earlier. I think 23 was broken at one point. And maybe now it's 29. Isn't being fixed as well. Man, the second bat drop is really hard. I have to get 4 of these somehow. Ah, I got the second one. The second one gets it to 45%. I don't know, though, because the second one also throws it kind of far forward. I don't know if there's a way I can avoid that. But it's going to make the third one, like, impossible. Also, I don't actually know if I can fit in the 4th with this strat. Oh shit, dude. Oh shit, that was 45 to 62. That was another 18. So it would be at 80% when I hit it with the bat in the end. It would be somewhere in the ballpark of 80%. Really, only 80? It should be more than that. I don't know. No, because wait. I got the third one there. That was close. Wonder how many of my ships are broken right now. Can I tell? If I go, like, in here. Status. It looks like the... Well... I wish it would sort by downtime. Swinging ship 39 is 16% downtime. Like, the downtime on some of these rides is pretty bad because they've just been broken for a really long time. Looks like it... Oh my god, merry-go-round 1, downtime 49%. Hang on. I'm actually gonna intervene. Merry-go-round 1... Oh, it's working now. It must have just been broken for, like, most of the scenario. It's kind of funny. Looks like the slide is still working. I was kind of worried about that. We're still in August. Oh, now we're in September. Only 2 months to go on that. No way, dude. It was only 79%. How was it only 79%? I feel like it should have a lot more damage on it than that. After 4 bat drops. I thought I was at like 77 after 3 that one time. I missed the final grab on the bat, otherwise we would have had it. Now Link's like not jumping for some reason. Kind of lame that there's like, if you zoom all the way out, you don't even get the Ferris wheel music or whatever, or the carousel music. You just get nothing but the laughter. But to zoom in to get the carousel music, I would have to accept horrible lag, and then this would take another 20 minutes, even though we're in like the last month. 23's broken again, man. I have so many mechanics trying to fix... I feel like the mechanic pathfinding must be somehow, like, uniquely terrible. Like, are they even trying to find it? How is the closest mechanic somehow... I mean, I wonder if the problem is that when it looks for the closest mechanic, it's closest in, like, absolute terms and not in path terms. And it ends up picking a mechanic who's on a different branch, and then he, like, can't find his way. Like, it ends up picking a mechanic inadvertently that's really far away. I wonder if that's a thing that can happen. Because it does seem like we've had a major problem with that the whole time, and I'm a bit surprised that, like, they're this bad at it. I think this is why, if you're gonna, like, do this strat, ideally you use... ideally you use one, or ideally you use the maze, because the maze can't break down, and you can pack them tighter more easily. Though I could have packed these ships much more tightly. Like, I didn't really discover the optimal ship packing strat until it was too late, so... But if I had mazes available from the start, we could have easily fit like 150 mazes onto this map. I don't even think it would have lagged if I had done that. I feel like if I had done 150 mazes, because there's no... I mean, there would be supports, but there's no moving parts to the maze. So I don't think the maze would cause nearly as much lag as the ships are. And then that wouldn't even be a problem. There yet? September. Yeah, mazes have lower value. I'm not really going for value or money, though. Like, the idea is that every ride attracts some number of guests. Even if they don't want to ride them, every ride will attract some number. And, like, the ships are good, but if I could fit, like, 3 times the number of mazes here, I think it would overpower the ship strat. And plus they wouldn't break down, so I wouldn't have to hire like 30 mechanics who all somehow still can't fix these rides. So I think mazes would have been better if I could have done that. Never unlocked the maze though. I think. No, I never did. Speaking of, I think I was messing with... Yeah, I was messing with research, and... How was that? I don't even know. Well... Research is not working the way I thought it worked. What? Whatever. But yeah, the people will go on the ships at least, so that's a thing. So, like, it was valid as a moneymaker. I have 77,000 in cash, which I don't think I've ever hit 100k. I kind of want to try hitting 100k sometime. That's going to have to be another cheese scenario, though. But I feel like that's a goal to reach for, to hit 100,000 in the bank. I'd have to start L canceling, honestly. I don't want to. But Link's jump keeps getting eaten, and it's really annoying. I think L canceling would fix that, but I'm not good at it. Now merry-go-round 2 is broken. Merry-go-round 1 having an uptime of 49% across the entire scenario is crazy. It was actually broken for like over a year probably. Ah, I got the second one. I feel like I got worse at it. I hadn't gotten the second one in a while. Look, this is usually, if I'm playing games and it's not on stream, it's probably this. I've spent a weird amount of time on this for someone who's terrible at it. Like, hang on. Where is it? Is it records? Yeah. Single player time 26:57, which I think doesn't even count time in menus. Power time is like 80 hours. I have spent a lot of time in 10-second increments. But like, I'm just saying, I was working on target test as well. And like, I'm just saying, I bet your target test time is not better than these. Well, they're not that good. World record is sub 3 minutes, but I bet yours aren't better than that. 7:35. This is actually not the GameCube thing save file. At some point, like, towards the end of GameCube thing, my memory card corrupted, and it just, like, deleted everything. And so I lost our Animal Crossing village, which is really the big loss. I'm sad about losing the Animal Crossing village, but, this is the save file that I had as a kid, so... And when I say kid, I mean like 13. I didn't actually have this at the time, but I bought it from GameStop later, and this is that save. So it does have everything completed on it. It actually didn't have everything completed on it. Sometime after GameCube thing, like very shortly after the end of GameCube thing, I had to go and rebeat a number of these to get like all the shit unlocked. To get like all the stages unlocked and stuff. I had to go and redo all that stuff and redo all of target test and things like that. Stuff that I had done during GameCube thing that I just never did as a kid for some reason. So I had to redo a bunch of it, but I did, so this is my melee save. But yeah, this scenario is going to be done in like 2 minutes, so I'm going to get rid of that. I don't know, just trying to find anything to do. I've learned my lesson here. If the scenario is really small, then I need to not just instantly place down 64 pirate ships. Otherwise, I'm going to find myself with nothing to do for like the last hour of the stream. Cruel Melee PB, I believe, is 1. Because I think you need a PB of 1 to unlock something. And other than that, I haven't messed with it. I should see if I can get that up, actually. I should try to get that up sometime. Oop, there we go. Oh, yeah, cool. Done. I don't know. Cruel Melee is kind of ridiculous. They just, like, kill you really fast. I don't even know what to do about it. What is that? That's probably scenario 27. Where is it in the menu? There it is, Barony Bridge. Company value of 87k is pretty good. I will probably not do that again. So, what's the next one look like? Funtopia? Oh god, this one's even smaller. What am I supposed to do? What do they want me to do for, like, what's the goal for the next one is 1,400 at the end of year 3? Like, literally, what do they want me to do? 1,400 guests, and I have, like, this tiny-ass park. What do they, like, they expect me to find 3 hours worth of stuff to do and, like, this tiny-ass plot of land? I don't even know. I don't even know. Scenarios are getting ridiculous. Still have 59 more to go, so a little over a year of Rollercoaster Tycoon remaining.